Spartans! What is your profession?
I've never been afraid to walk away. Left the shadows in yesterday. They thought they owned the lock and key, but I'm the storm they didn't see. They whispered out behind my back, thought my strength was what I'd lack. But I've turned scars into a flame. Their doubts just fuel my untamed. Walked away with my head held high, left their chains beneath the sky. They thought I'd crumble, thought I'd fall, but I'm the one who breaks the wall. I've never been afraid to let it all go. They thought they held the strings of my show, bound by their words, but they don't know. I'm the storm, I'm the fire, I'm the glow. They thought my roots would never grow in fields where winds of freedom blow, but here I stand, unshaken, bold, a story no one else could hold. They thought rebel left when silence calls. They thought my song would fade away, but I'm the voice they can't betray. I've left behind the chains they made. Their whispers tried to make me afraid, but I don't bow, I don't obey. I walk my path, I find my way. With my head held high, left their chains beneath the sky. They thought I'd crumble, thought I'd fall, but I'm the one who breaks the wall. Every scar, every step, every tear, built my armor, made it clear. I'm unbroken, I'm sincere. I've walked away, I have no fear.
Welcome back to another Sunday afternoon episode of Software Explorations, hosted by your truly Tech Coach Ralph, where we are, above all else, engineered to win. Or, like my friends like to say, I annoy the hell out of you to success. How is everyone doing out there today? I am doing absolutely phenomenal. It is a beautiful, beautiful day down here in South Florida. The sun is out. We were out on the basketball court this morning. I've been working like crazy everywhere to get apps out, software out, whether it's at the day job, whether it's at my own stuff, whatever it is. We've been working like crazy and we are seeing great progress. I am setting deadlines for me and my team to get things done. Which leads me to past the halfway mark of the year. We are in month 7. We are in month 7. Day 20 of the month of July. Can you believe that? It is already July 20th.
Bruh.
The year is over. Did you do what you say that you were going to do? Did you do less? Did you do more? I think I did more. Although some things that we initially set out to do, we're still doing them, but we like, as you learn more, you do more. You learn more, you do more, and then you pivot when necessary. I'm with it. I am with it. Let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
So the plan, the TLDR for today, right? Too long, didn't read. TLDR. We're gonna start off with getting our token fix in. We're going to be looking into this new, I guess I'll call it an application, maybe. application called Kilo Code, as you can tell by the name of the live stream. Kilos, or no, code. Rewind. Code by the kilos. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Well, I will show you. So this new application that I found, I guess I'll call it an application called Kilo Code. It's supposed to be like a coding assistant, but it's also open source. It is a bring your own API keys, right? You know, bring your own beer, bring your own API keys. And you can also use theirs, but I'm well versed in getting my own API keys. So we're gonna look into that. And we're going to look into installing that. From what I see so far, it only works with VS Code. That made me really, really sad, but it's all good. And we're going to see if it can start off with some unit tests for us, maybe fixing some unit tests. That is the plan for today. If this thing is successful, I already joined their Discord. If this thing is successful, it will be a major, major game saver, because that means that I can get a lot of work done using my own keys, saving money, not having to go and throw money at other paid for products. But we shall see. I hope this works, because I will press enter, and I will put probably like $50 on an API key and press enter, and I'll go about my business. Let it work throughout the night. So we shall see. But I mean, all right. That was a pretty long TLDR, right?
Bruh.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's get into the agenda. Let's take care of some quick housekeeping for today. All right. First and foremost, I want to be the very, very first to thank all of the subscribers to the channel, those who are brand spanking new, and those who have been with me for a very, very long time. Every last one of you guys, I appreciate it. You guys allowing me, little old me, to add value into your life. I love it. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And I gotta say a big, big salute to all of the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon members, my Tech Barbarians, I work with them one-on-one, my Tech Prodigy members, I work with them one-on-one, my Technical Explorers who join me on my Vibe Code and Chill sessions that my goal is to do it every other weekend. I didn't do it this weekend just for the fact that so I try to alternate it between Scrum Night weekends and my open weekends. So, and then it was a mess, but my goal is to do it next Saturday, Vibe Code and Chill, middle of the day, Saturday afternoon. Jump on. I'm going to continue working on my applications so you guys can see how I work through it. Everything that I'm learning, like to using the Lovable platform. Maybe I have to use Devin. Maybe I'll be using Kilo Code, whatever it is. You guys get to see it because I show a lot more of things I'm working on in my weekend meetups for the Tech Coach Off Patreon, our Vibe Code and Chill sessions. I answer your questions. You guys can come on, ask me questions. Other people can hear those questions, can provide input, whatever the case may be. I am there for you. We go for about maybe 2 hours, sometimes 2.5, maybe 3 hours. That might be my limit. And we just hang out, chill. You see what I'm working on. I can share ideas with you, share ideas with me. Junior gave me some great ideas that I'm looking into trying to implement for the homeschool app. So that's what we do on the weekends, as well as I share my sprint reviews with my Tech Barbarians with you guys. And if you if you guys need one-on-one coaching, that is the place to get it as well. All right. And then by the way, the Tech Coach Off Patreon, it is the best.
Let's get it.
No.
We the best.
There we go. And last but not least, shout out to the Tech Mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who keep the channel running so I can be able to add value to every last one of the viewers. Shout out to all of my Tech Mercenaries. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. And I also have to say shout out to all of the new followers on X who are watching on X, who allow me to share what I'm learning in the building public and in Lovable and all that type of stuff. Shout out to all of you guys for allowing me to add value to you as well. All right. Next up, quick announcement. We are going our show schedule, right? Our show schedule. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna be live, right? We're gonna be live tomorrow morning. We are going to be continuing working on our N8N marketing flow. Once I get this N8N marketing flow to work, I'll go back to the large language model course. Be more careful with it because I still have absolutely no idea what that copyright thing with Udemy was, but whatever. We'll be more careful not to make sure we don't show. I don't even know what I showed. So whatever. But we're gonna go back to that after we finish getting that N8N marketing workflow to work. We did a good chunk of it this past Wednesday. It was absolutely amazing. We're gonna continue tomorrow morning. Ooh, you know what? Scratch. Oh, you know what? Ooh, I gotta think. Tomorrow morning is gonna be tough. Maybe I will. All right, scratch that. I just remembered. I have an appointment early tomorrow morning, so that might not work out. I'll see. I will figure out if we'll do something tomorrow morning. If not tomorrow morning, it'll definitely be Wednesday morning. All right. And then on tomorrow at noon, we are going to be premiering Candid Conversations, and the topic of Candid Conversations is going to be how would you handle if someone stole your idea? A few weeks ago, I was talking to somebody and they said they came up with a great idea. They used AI to help them implement it. Very basic, but it was great. They shared that idea. The person they shared it with, like their boss, said, "Oh my God, this is absolutely amazing." However, in the group meeting, the boss says, this really cool app that this other person, let's call him John Doe, this not my friend, that John Doe is building.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So we're going to be talking about that. How I'm going to share what my advice was to my friend, how I would handle it, all of that good stuff. So tune in tomorrow at noon. It's going to be really good. Wednesday, we're going to be going live Q&A/vibe working. I call it vibe working session, where you know how we do. You can call in, you can ask questions in the chat, and I will be just working on different stuff. I have so many credits to burn, so I might just be working on random stuff, right? So we shall see. All right. That is what we have upcoming for the week. And with that being said, it is time for us to get to work. But first, let me check the chat. I got my guy in the building. Junior says, "What's up, family? What's good with you, Junior? So happy. Always a pleasure to have you in the building." And Junior also says, "They can have the idea. I still have the creativity. May the best man win." All right, Junior. All right. You and I are going to have a problem because you're just giving away all the advice that I gave to my friend. Shout out to you, Junior. Junior knows how it goes. You know how we move. No fret. Cool, take it. Have it. Was it Jay-Z that said, "Oh, you built me? Build another me." Shout out to my guy Junior. That was exactly my thinking as well, Junior. So you know the game. You know the game. All right. All right. So it is time for us to get to doing some work. Let me go ahead and log into the right Lovable account, and then we shall get to it. And here's a question for the chat. I know Junior has, but has anyone else dabbled in doing something in Lovable? Creating something? Maybe a prototype? I mean, they give you 5 free credits, 30 for the month. 5 a day, 30 for the month for free. They give you like, you get 2 super base projects for free. Have you tried it? No? Bueller? All right. You're going to do it to yourself. But this, everywhere I go, people who don't know about tech, talking about, oh, there's going to be no jobs. Even people who do know about tech, there's going to be no jobs. I'm like, you have no idea what the possibilities hold. And I'm going to show you, after we're done using up our 5 credits, which you'll see how many I have. It's so bad. I am a terrible token fiend. All right, I'm a terrible token fiend because I can't use them up. I cannot use them up. So let's get to it. So I'm going to go over to this banner over here. All right, feeding our token addiction. I wish I had the capability of giving tokens away, because I have too many. 100. The way that I've been working, the 100 is just too much for me. It's just too much for me. It's like I'm so efficient with it now, and that's part of the things that I do inside of the Team Tech Coach Ralph Patreon and Discord. If somebody's on the Discord, I will answer any and all of your questions. In the channels, maybe I should create a Lovable channel or a vibe coding channel coming soon. All right. But I'll answer anybody's questions, and we can have a great grand old time doing that. All right. But let's jump into feeding our addiction. Okay. What in the world? I know what this is. All right, let me move this off. Let's go to Jesus. Okay, we're gonna go here, and we are gonna go to. Which one is it? Give me a second. Yep. No, not this one. This one. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty then. So let's go to. Let's go here. All right. So we are in our homeschool app. You guys know this one very well. I've been working on this one for quite a bit. And this one came about from the Weekend of Love that Lovable made possible when OpenAI, Claude, or Anthropic, and Google were battling. And I just went ham. They gave us unlimited credits, and I was just creating all of this stuff. And we're just about to. And this is like, I'm gifting this to my family so that they can, whatever money this makes is going to be for them, right? All right. So what I was working on the past few days was getting this right here. So if you go to my calendar, getting this time zone to work properly, which I did get it to do. Now, the part that I'm working on is getting this time right here to display properly, because I have this tooltip. It tells me that the original time is American New York, but it's saying that my time zone is UTC. I think before I changed it, it was saying that there was just text over here that was saying that it was converted from Fort Lauderdale time zone. I had to make it a tooltip instead, but my time zone is not UTC, right? This needs to take the time zone that I'm in. So yesterday I started to make the prompt, but then I noticed that I was at my credit limit and I had 5 reset. I said, you know what? I'm going to save it for the live stream. I am going to save it to do it with my friends. So here we are. So what I was saying, so this is the prompt that I was putting in. When I look at the events that was added, it's still showing my time zone as UTC. The form to add an event correctly identifies my time zone as well as the auto detect, but the actual event that is being displayed is identifying my time as UTC. We need to find a way to fix the event. And something that I learned about Lovable, you gotta be like, sometimes you gotta be really specific. Make sure we are just fixing the events that were the event that is listed, and not when trying to add an event through the form. Right? So I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna put this one because that might confuse it. To fix a way to fix the event that is being listed as upcoming. Another thing that I want to do is if the event is in the past, I don't want it to list on, maybe I could, so what I'm thinking about, right? If we're over here, or maybe not over there, if we are over here, I don't want past events to show. I only want upcoming events to show. But maybe so people can see what type of events were done in the past or that were shared in the past, we can do some type of tab. So let's say we do a tab for under the community shared events, right? We could do a tab that says upcoming events. It defaults to upcoming events. And then we have a tab that says past events, and it shows you a very simple list of all the past events that have happened, and you can view the details so you can know the type of stuff that is available. I think that's a good idea. All right, so let's see what we have. I can see the issue. The problem is the use time zone hook is not properly setting the user's time zone. Looking at the code, it starts with the user time zone set to UTC and only updates it after the user location is detected, but there seems to be an issue with the flow. Let me fix the time zone detection. I fixed the time zone detection issue by updated the use time zone hook. Now initializes with the browser's time zone instead of the UTC and has better error handling. Let's hope that's the case, though. That might be a premature air horn. Improve user location hook added console logging to help debug time zone detection and ensure the browser time zone is always available as a fallback. I like the browser time zone because it's unlikely that the browser is going to be in a time zone that the person is not in. Better fallback logic. If IP geolocation fails, it will use the browser's detected time zone instead of defaulting to UTC. I like that. So let's see if this actually worked. Let's go here. Let's refresh. Oh, I saw something for a second. Hold on. It did not work, but I saw something though. I saw something for a split second. Let me see. IP detected time zone is correct. Browser time zone is correct. So somewhere it is switching back to UTC. It is switching somewhere. Give me a second. All right. So as we can see here in the code, right? Everything is finding that it is the right location. However, it still can't. It's still setting this. All right, let me see. What I like to do is I like to try to add a new one. Test 2 for time zone. Miami, Florida. Let's do 0300, or it's already 0. Sorry, let's say 0400 p.m. So everything is selected here. And we will say add event. See, it's still doing it. It is still doing it. Refresh. And I saw a quick change over here, right? So, I'm going to say, all right, I saw the time zone is still displaying in UTC. I saw a flash of a different time before it set it to UTC, but I couldn't confirm the time was accurate. And one thing I'll tell you, right, even if you are not very familiar with the console log and stuff like that, here's a trick. And Junior, this might help you. This might help you, right? Even if you're not familiar with like all the code in the console, all the codes in the network tab, whenever something shows red, right? Like if you're getting an error, if something shows red, that's bad. It means there's something wrong, right? Always copy and paste the error that you're getting from the console. Like, so you describe the issue that's happening. You copy and paste the error that you're getting, and you paste it into the chat over here. It says this is the, and you specify, I'm getting this error in the console, right? And then in the network tab, if there's an error there, you say, and I'm getting this error in the network tab. You copy the address from the network tab that it's using, and you copy the actual error message in the network tab that it's using, so that it can have more context in how it tries to fix the issue, right? Below is the console logs showing the browser time and geolocation are properly setting the time zone, but it seems like something might be setting it to UTC before the page finishes loading. All right, let's paste that. And we shall send that up. Let's see what we get from that. Let's see here. Looking at the console, I can see that the time zone is working correctly, but something is still causing it to let me examine this more carefully. It appears to be the event time display component. Even though we're getting the correct user time zone from the hook, there might be a timing issue where the component renders before the time zone is fully loaded, or the time zone conversion logic isn't working as expected. I've added extensive debugging to both the event time zone component and the format time and time zone function. The component is also now waiting for a proper time zone to be loaded before displaying the time, which should prevent the UTC display issue. This will help us identify where exactly the time zone conversion is failing and ensure a correct time is displayed in your local time zone. Perfect. Let me make sure my Wi-Fi is good. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back over here and we're going to refresh. Let's see. Where's our refresh? Come on. Come on, Junior. You can do it. What is going on here? Why are you not? Okay, let me see. I don't know why the page isn't loading. All right, let me just. Sometimes, like, I don't know, they've been having a bit of trouble this weekend with their servers, so it's been. Oh. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see. How many credits we have left? 3 for the day. But this is how I figure a lot of this stuff out. Yep, exactly, Junior. Junior said, let me bring this up now because in the context. Junior says, so copy the error and ask Lovable to fix it. Yeah, so because it gives them more context in when they're doing research on what could be the cause of the issue in order to try to get it right. Because if you just say it's still not working, still not working, still not working, it's going to go down a bunch of rabbit holes to try to get it to work. And it's going to be a nightmare. So that's why, like, giving it more information so it can know, like that's at least that's what's worked for me. I don't know. I think this. Oh my goodness gracious, what is going on over here? Let me see. So this is working, but their site, their Lovable dot. The site is not. Let me try another site. Let me try the. What is it's been kind of weird this week. Hold on. Oh, that one works. Maybe on a different server. I don't know why this is taking forever to load. It's not something that we did. Okay. Very weird, I must say. Let me try a different app. That one works. I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's anything that we did that caused that to happen. Let's see. Yeah, I would show you right now if it would actually load. I don't know what's going on. So weird. Let's see. I have no idea what's going on. Well, guess they're trying to cut short our day. So here's what we're going to do then. I am going to show something else. Give me a second. Let's see. Everything looks good for the most part. Well, all right. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. I am going to go here. So we'll get back to these 2 credits if the site ever loads up again, but I'll show you a different thing in the meantime. So I was at a family member's, a cousin of mine's. We went to visit them yesterday, and I was talking to her husband because I heard him talking about AI and stuff like that, about how this and that. Because here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. People will watch a lot of videos that people make about AI, and then they're watching people who don't necessarily know the ins and outs about it, and then they will share what the people have said, but then it's like, yeah, but you don't know about this side of it. You don't know about this side of it. So I was like, well, so what I wanted to do, I wanted to show them. So he does a lot of trading and stuff like that. So I wanted to show him, like, look, the tools that are available, just having ideas and concepts, like just thinking about Junior, like just having an idea and being able to start building. And I said, all right, tell me what it is that you do. What is your workflow, right, for your trading stuff? And he gave me so we ended up, we wrote a prompt based on his workflow. I used Manus to write the prompt. And then I added to it. And I'm also, so I said, I am a trader and I do this, this, and this, right? To put his side of the game. And then I said, I'm also a software engineer who wants to build an application to help me streamline all of this stuff. And I put the prompt in there that Manus gave to me, and I dropped it in, and it ended up giving me all this over here, right? So what I'm gonna do, since our other one is acting up, since it's tripping, right? I am going to just use a credit on this, right? So I'm gonna say, the color schema is very hard to read. There is like black on dark text and white text over white buttons. Can you fix the color layout so we can have a much better visual experience of the UI? So, and here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. When I first get started with like the layout that it gives us, I can be very, very broad and general with what it gives me, like with my prompts, because I can be very, very general because it's like it's like laying the foundation, right? You're not going to be very, very nitpicky about, oh, this and that. Is like, all right, let's get started with it, right? But then as most of the app is done and working, then you want to be very, very specific with how you are approaching certain things. So like when I was working on an app the other day, I had to be really, really careful because the slightest bit of a mistake in your prompt can cause havoc, because AI can be like a hammer in a China shop. Not a China shop, what, China bowl shop? Is that what they call them? The China bowl shop? Like the glass bowls, right? And it can just be making havoc. So you got to know when to use the torch, right? The blowtorch. And you got to know when that you want to have those like little precision, like a soldering iron or something, like a precision torch when you're trying to do something, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, this thing stopped working. This is so crazy. Okay, now we're back. Okay, we're back. That was so weird. All right. So while it's doing, now I am doing a double take. I have one Lovable working here, and I have one Lovable working here. So let's go and check this one while we wait for the other one. I'm gonna go over here and loading. Okay, let's see. Let's refresh that. And now it is stuck in loading. That is good. That is good. We are a bull in a. Is that what? Why would a bull be in a? Why would a bull be in a China shop? Why would that? I'm sure you're right. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think what I meant to say though, like the AI sees everything as is a hammer and sees everything as a nail, but then I got the two confused by saying a hammer in a China shop. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. So now let's take a look to see why is this not loading? So, blocked by cores, waiting for time. So, all right. So event time. Okay. So we have some more logs. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Junior, we have, it's detected the IP address, right? So, okay. So we have some really good logs over here. So we have, okay. So we have more logs over here, right? let's start over here. We have get the current time zone, America, New York, user time zone, America, New York, event time zone, America, New York, event time 9, formatted time, detected time. All right, so everything is looking good over here. Everything is looking good over here. And everything is looking good. It's conversion needed false. All right, good. Everything is looking good. That's for our 4 p.m. That's for 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Event date time, same time zone results. That looks looking good. It's gonna all right. So this is still looking good until it gets all the way down to the event time display, and this user time zone is UTC, event time zone 4. That is so weird. So here I'm gonna give you an example, right? Because in the network tab, there's nothing in the network tab, right? But here, although we don't have like this error is not exactly what's causing it. We don't have a specific error, but we can see based on the logs that Lovable set for us that so everything is happening, everything is working perfectly, right? And this is how I troubleshoot things. Everything starting from over here when it's trying to get the time zone, everything is working perfectly, right? And then as it gets closer and closer and closer, to the over here, all the way down in the pipeline, user time zone UTC, right? So I'm gonna just copy this whole thing over here, right? And I'm going to say, we should have like 1 credit left, I guess. I am going to say, oh, we have 2 left. Okay. Do we have 2 left? Let me see. I guess we do have 2 left. All right. So I am going to say, now, so I'm very kind, right? There was just one time last week where I was really pissed off at my junior AI software engineer. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And it was like, I'm sorry. I see you're getting frustrated. My bad. And then it shaped up. I mean, sometimes you gotta put your foot down. All right. So we are making progress. Now we are now the logs are capturing, and I'll describe to it what I'm seeing so that we can be in harmony, right? Now the logs are capturing the time zone conversion, and it is accurately getting the time zones all the way until the end, when it suspiciously and for junior miraculously suspiciously and miraculously changes it to UTC. See the logs below, right? And I'm just gonna paste all the logs so it can see where it's successfully getting it to New York. And then towards the end, it says, "Oh yeah, it's also UTC." So I'm gonna send that, and while that's doing its thing over there, right? I'm gonna take a look at. Oh, so this looks a lot better now. This looks a lot better. It looks phenomenal. And I made this in like so this is what happened. This is what happened yesterday. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened yesterday, right? So I'm on a call. I'm on a coaching call. So I'm at my cousin's house. I'm on a coaching call, and I hear them talking in the background about, and I'm gonna say, right, don't tell my cousin, her husband, or my wife that I said this, right? But they're talking about AI, right? They're talking about AI and stuff that they've watched on YouTube and wherever. But guess what? Right? The most AI that they've ever used, and this is not a shot at anybody, right? But the most AI they've ever used are common prompts in Chat GPT. T.
Bruh.
Right? I'm just saying. I tell the truth, right? So then I was like, all right, let me show you why, from my perspective as a software engineer, QA engineer, been doing this tech stuff for 20 years, right? What I see, what I've been working on, the possibilities. If the video that I'm releasing on Wednesday, that I'm going to be premiering on Wednesday, is showing what I have learned using Lovable, where it puts me in God mode. I'm gonna give you a deep dive. If you are a software engineer, what I was able to do, it's crazy. Oh my God, what? Why did Rod Brown have to show up when I said God mode? Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
Now he's gonna make a video about me, and he's gonna be like, "Is AI God mode? What? Come on, Rod Brown." I'm just messing around. All right. Anyways, but it looks a lot better, and I was able, like, in like just by taking what he does and what I do, I put them together, and I said, "Build me this," and it built me this whole dashboard. This is just a prototype, right? This is just a prototype, but I can actually build this thing out. You know what I mean? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna check. We're gonna use our last credit. Oh my God, I don't want to do that. We're gonna ask Manus. We're gonna ask Manus, right? We're gonna ask Manus. Here, let me see how I'm gonna do this. So I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna do. But let's check this one out real quick, and then we'll get to our next working stuff. All right. So, looking at the log, I can see the issue clearly. So, how does the song go? I can see clearly now. Right. That's what Lovable just sang into. Just whispered into my ears. Right. I can see clearly now. But that's because maybe Lovable can see the logs already, but I'm not. You know what? I am going to share with you the logs that I'm seeing, so that you can figure this thing out. And it says, okay, looking at the logs, I can see clearly now today. Is it today that they say, or no? I'm sure Wave, Junior, Rod Brown, you guys know the song. Let me know what the lyrics. Let me know what the lyrics are. Right? It says, so the time zone, the user time zone hook is properly detecting America, New York, but then the user time zone, value is resetting to UTC after the component re-renders.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yup. Says this is happening because the hook is initializing with the browser time zone, but then gets reset during the async operation. Let me fix the timing issue in the use time zone hook. The issue was the use time zone hook where the state was being reset during async operations. I have fixed this by preserving the current time zone value instead of resetting to UTC. The hook now keeps the current time zone value when there are errors or missing data. Removing the UTC check, the event time display component now is only showing loading when there is no time zone at all, not when it's UTC. Adding better logging to track the time zone changes. Preventing unnecessary state updates, only updates the time zone state when the value actually changes. This should resolve the issue where the time zone is briefly shows correctly before this resets to UTC. All right. So let's go and let's refresh that. And moment of truth. Major failure. Major failure. So let's see. This is good. Why is user time zone still freaking UTC? All right, well, we're going to use our last one like this. We're going to use our last credit like this, right? I mean, I have a bunch of credits to burn, but it is what it is. We're going to use our last credit like this. I'm just going to copy this all over again. I think it's close, though. I think it's close. let's go ahead and copy this all over again. Actually, I'm gonna clear this out and refresh, so I'm gonna get all fresh logs. Right. So there you go. See, is conversion needed? It's supposed to be false, right? Let me copy this. Fetching time zone from database. Why would you fetch time zone from database? Let's copy all of that. It's very, very close, right? I really, really want to get this time zone thing to work. All right, so because if you don't have the right time zone, then it doesn't even make sense. It says it is still setting as UTC, but I can see in an object that the user time zone is UTC and the use time zone is the correct time zone. How can we set the user time zone to never be UTC and always use the browser or geolocation time zone? I don't want to never use UTC because what if they're actually in, but a default. How can we set the user time zone to always use the browser or, all right, let's try that, right? That'll be our last one. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up Manus in the meantime in another browser. So I can show you the prompt that I did yesterday. Actually, I'll just make that I'll make that its own segment. I'm going to show I'll make that a break thing where I will use Manus in order to give me some tooling ideas, all right? Let's see. I am not using a VPN though. And if I was using a VPN, I wouldn't be in UTC time. So I can see the issue. You see a lot, Lovable. The problem is that the use time zone hook, where we're still allowing the user time zone to potentially get set to UTC somewhere in the logic. Let me fix it by ensuring we never set it to UTC and always reserve the detected time zone. Should have done that a long time ago. Now the use time zone will never set the time zone to UTC. It will always use either the detected time zone from geolocation or the browser time zone as a fallback, ensuring you always display the correct time. All right, cool. Perfect. Let's go and, perfect, knock on wood, right? Let's go and refresh again. And no saved time zone. Who was saving a time zone? I never saved the time zone in the first place, right? So, but now that should be correct. All right, that is correct. No saved time zone. Well, I think that's fine. I don't know. I don't have a way to check it in a different time zone, right? Unless, as Junior's saying, use a VPN, which maybe I don't have a VPN I can enable right now. So I'll try that. I will try that later. But we are getting the right time zone though, which is good because what it did was it says no valid who saved the time zone? I'll look into that because I never saved the time zone. But we're good though. We are good. At least for now. Using fallback I think the fallback is the user's time zone. So I don't know, but looks like it's okay. It looks like it's okay. With that being said, so this is looking good over here. It's kind of weird, but whatever. It looks a lot better. We can actually read it. So maybe I don't trade, so I have no reason to do this. But anyways, let's go back to full screen. We have successfully fed our token addiction. It is what it is. It is what it is. You guys know that I am nerdy by nature.
You're such a nerd.
I know. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to check the chat, and then we're going to use madness, and we're gonna have a quick little discussion as well, right? About vibe coding is hard AF. All right. That's a question. See, here's a question. Mr. Rod Brown, Mr. Junior, I have a question for you guys. Let me get that off the way. All right. Here's a question for you guys. If I say hard AF, right, is that considered me cursing by just saying the letter, but the intention behind it was, a curse word? What if I say hard as freak? Would that I'm still very, very confused by that whole topic. So that's what I'm just it is just a question. All right.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being
Let me check the chat. Let me stop messing around. Let me check the chat. Let me see what we got going on in here. Junior said, so copy the error in Lovable to fix error. Yes. As you saw what we did, by me copying the error, it's all right. Let me put these notes. And I'm copying. Say, this is what I'm getting now. This is what I'm getting now. It's still not working, but we're working our way towards it. That is typically what software engineers will do, right? They're adding logs, they're debugging, stuff like that. So you have when I'm doing quality assurance, right, and I'm reporting a defect to my software engineers, I give them as much information as possible. I'm looking in the exactly what you see me doing here, looking at failed network calls, looking at console logs if I'm doing something in the browser, looking at application logs, and I'm seeing, okay, do we have an error here? Is something not being caught? And I'm copying those errors and I'm putting it into where I'm reporting it to them so they can fix it, and we can have and that's why for me I am struggling with my token addiction, because I'm not using up all my tokens. I use the 5 a day, but then I'm like, well, what do I do now? So, but that is exactly how I do it. I've been doing it for the past 20 years with my software developers, and that's exactly how I'm doing it with Lovable. So, and now that they've put me in God mode, oh my God! All right, it's crazy. It is crazy. Junior says, I've had it running in circles before, so using the error sounds like a great idea. Yep, and I'll show you on Saturday, or maybe earlier this week, but definitely on Saturday when we do our vibe code and chill session in the TechCoach Patreon, techcoach.dev if you want to participate. But I will show you some more details on how I am using the network tab for errors and stuff like that. So I'll find something that I know has an error, and I will show you how I use it to say very similar to the console log, but the network tabs, like when it's making a request somewhere and it's supposed to get something back and it fails, I'll show you how I do that. All right, let's keep going. Junior says, a bull in a China shop. Yeah, you're right. I just don't understand it. Why would a bull be actually in a China shop? Like, how did it get into the China shop? And that's one of the problems, right? I question things because they have to make sense to me. So that is one of my flaws.
Bruh.
It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense to me, all right? Because I'm like, I'm going to get stuck on it, right? We got my guy, Wave Nerd, in the building. Says, good Sunday, good people. What's up, Wave Nerd? How are you doing this amazing, amazing Sunday? Junior says, it'll talk about the bull in the China shop. It'll destroy everything because all the plates are delicate, but a bull isn't careful. I hear that. I just don't know how it got into the China shop. I mean, I can see a bear possibly getting into a China shop, but how does a bull? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Let's see. Wait, Mitch is blessed on 2 feet, about to move up to move up a Super Saiyan level. It says transform for my third account. God is good. That is true. All the time. All the time. Let's go. Let's get it.
We the best.
Let's see. We got the one, the only Rod Brown in the building. Says good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you as well, Rod Brown. How are you doing? I am looking forward to Wednesday. I'm sorry. I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. I am looking forward to Wednesday night with a working microphone. With a working microphone. I'm just saying. Let's see. Junior says they have no idea. They just didn't know what they did. Don't just don't tell them I said that. Just don't tell them that I said that. And Junior says, that might be a good topic. It's gonna be a picture of me, right, with my Token Fiend hat, and it's going to say, is this token addict, or does AI put this token addict on God mode? That's what it's gonna say. I can see it now. Junior says so the song is I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, I can see all the obstacles. All right, that was, see, I don't sing. I do not sing. I just use Suno AI to make me some music. Junior says, could it be that you're using a VPN that you have in UTC time zone? I don't know how those things work. I mean, it could have been that, but I'm not on a VPN, and it's not in UTC time zone. So it was, but it's somewhere in the code is setting it to UTC by default, and I know that Lovable is set to UTC so it's possible that it is using Lovable's location as the default, and that's why for me at 8 p.m. that's when the re-up man comes, because that's 8 p.m. is midnight UTC time. So it's something like that that's causing it, but I think we've gotten around it. I will have somebody who is in a different coast check it out and let me know what they see. Let's see. Junior says it's absolutely is. It's just like me saying, what the F is your problem? We all know what it means. That's fair. That is fair. But here's a question though. Here's a question. Did Junior just say the F word by using his example? I'm just messing around, all right? Rob Brown says, my mic and I are trying to resolve our issues. Last Wednesday, my mic said, pay me what you owe me. Oh my, I'm trying.
Money. Hey.
Rod Brown, I'm going to let you know. I am going to let you know. These mics ain't loyal. All right? I'm just saying, Rod Brown.
How dare you?
These mics ain't loyal. All right? I'm going to leave it at that. I am going to leave it at that. All right. So let me show you my Manus prompt really, really quick, and then we will go from there. So let's go. You know what? I am going to, give me a second. I am going to do it like this. Let's go to, because I will push, I'll show you the Manus prompt. We'll see. Let me see how I can do this. Let me go to, but because I really do want to show you the Manus prompt. Let's go to, where are we? All right, we're here. We are here. And we're going to go to that. For trade app. All right, let's do it like this, right? I'm going to show you this Manus, what I did in Manus in order to generate that page that you just saw, right? Let's go over here, and I'm going to go over here. So this is Manus, right? I've shown you guys this before. It helped me add tools to my it helped me add a feature to my time cost calculator app. I'm gonna throw up 5 minutes on this, right? But so this is what I did. This is how I started off, right? So what my cousin-in-law, I guess I'll call him, is he says he's a swing trader, right? I don't know much about these things, but he was explaining to me a little bit. But he's a swing trader. So I said, all right, tell me what you call yourself, right? What do you identify as, right? He said he identifies as a swing trader. I said, okay, cool. And I said, as a swing trader, I want to optimize my processes. Okay. I said, give me a good strategy to give me the highest returns, because that's what they want. Everybody wants the highest returns, right? Everyone wants the highest returns. So I said, give me a good strategy to give me the highest returns. And then I said, all right, I'm going to describe your current workflow to Manus. So I said, what I currently do is look for a catalyst. I have no idea what this means, right? But I look for a catalyst. Look if it's breaking above 50-day moving average. No, I have no idea what that is, right? And doing to test to the 200-day moving average. No idea what that is. I check the fundamentals of the company, right? I also look at the 4-hour daily and weekly time frame. I normally end up doing this for each company, right? I check about 10 to 15 companies at any given time, right? So that's what he does, right? So that's the first half of the prompt. Me, being the software-minded person that I am, being the automation person that I am, I want an efficient workflow. So I come in and I say, all right, so now I'm speaking for myself. I am also a software engineer who wants to build an application to streamline this process using the Lovable development platform. Can you give me some ideas on first how to make this more streamlined and to maximize my returns, and then provide me a Lovable prompt to get the UI prototype for the app that will help me automate my system? So Manus got to work. So this is what I did, right? So I put this prompt in, I closed the laptop screen, and then we went over and hung out at the pool for about an hour, right? Yep. That's what we did. So I put Manus to work the block, I guess. Work the corner. Whatever. I mean, we got code by the kilos, right? So I put Manus to work the corner, right? And so it said it's going to do all this, right? Research swing trading optimization strategies, analyze current trading processes and identify improvement opportunities, design streamlined trading workflows and automation recommendations, research trading applications, create comprehensive Lovable prompt for trading app UI, and compile and deliver final recommendations for the Lovable prompt. So it did all this stuff, searching for swing trades, searching LinkedIn, quantum, like all this stuff that I have no idea what it's talking about, right? And it's doing analyze current trading processes and identify improvement opportunities, design streamlined trading workflows. So I understand that there are a lot of influencers on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram who are talking about trading and stuff like that. I would probably say, oh, this is gonna be bad for me. All right. Here's a question: Do I, or
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
here's the deal, right? There, you are like they're making a lot more money based on your. This is my honest opinion, right? They make a way more money, by you watching what they're telling you to do and you trying to implement it, than if you were to actually go and do use these tools, these platforms, ChatGPT could do great, Gemini could do great, and then using the concept that you learn and then building out your own workflows and seeing how you can help yourself to build out these AI agents, to build out these tools that is going to give you how you can use your workflow and make it work for you instead of you always chasing something. Always that's because me personally.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
Because me personally, I would like if I was making like this type of content for trading and stuff like that, I would want the watch hours more than anything else. I'm just saying. Right?
I'm just being honest.
I would want the watch hours more than anything else. That's how I see it. So I'm like, all right, they getting all the views, and now you're like, all right, let me try to implement this. Let me try to implement that. And things can be faked. Things can be faked. So, anyways, I digress. Let's go down a little bit. So it gave me all this information based on what he does, a complete roadmap showing how to reduce your daily analysis time from 2 to 3 hours to 30 to 45 minutes while expanding from 10 to 10 from look at that. While expanding from 10 to 15 stocks to 50 to 100 plus opportunities. I didn't even read this yesterday. But reducing from 2 to 3 hours to 30 to 45 minutes, the 2 to 3 hours for 10 to 15 stocks to 50 to 100. That's crazy. That is crazy, right? Detailed, so the detailed prompt, all that. All right, so I'm not even going to go into all of these things. All I wanted the prompt. All I cared about was the prompt. So it gave me this prompt right here. I just copied this whole bad boy right here. I copied this whole bad boy right here into Lovable, right? I'll show you. I just copied. Oops. Let me see. Copy. I just copied this whole thing. I'll even show you what I did, right? I went into here. I pasted and I pressed sent, and I walked away. Just like that. And then I was at the pool chilling. If I was Rod Brown, if I was Rod Brown, I would be doing a little dance that I did at the pool, right? Because Rod Brown he likes to dance. I'd be doing a little dance. I didn't do anything at the pool because I don't know how to dance. But and I'm chilling. We hung out, came back, opened up the laptop, checked the Lovable, and it had a whole UI. And then today we just used the credit to make it look this way. All right. So what I'm gonna ask Manus for now, right, is I have my prompt, or I have my prototype set up. Can you give me some platforms that are free or low cost, some or very low cost, where I can use APIs to populate the what is this thing called? I don't even know the name. The trading dashboard. The trading dashboard with accurate, because that's the big part right there, right? The APIs with accurate data. So I'm gonna send that, and what I'm gonna do, we are going to actually get to work. So we'll check this. We'll check back into this results once we get done with our first segment of work, or I guess with our second segment of work, right? So let's go back to full screen while Manus is doing its job, right? I put it to work. I put Manus to work. That's why I pay it the big bucks. That is why I pay it the big bucks, all right? So what we're gonna do now, we are going to get into Kilo. We're going to check out our Kilos, our code by the Kilos. All right, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. I am going to throw up. Let me get this off the screen. We're gonna go to here. Code by the Kilos. We're going to be exploring Kilo code. Right. So let me put up 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
So how did I come across this Kilo code thing? Right. So I was on Reddit yesterday, giving some feedback on vibe coding, on Lovable, on QA and stuff like that. And as I'm scrolling, right? Yep. I see this promotion for Kilo Code. It says open. It says replace. I think it said replace Cursor or something like that. I've never used Cursor, but they said that you can replace one of these tools with Kilo Code. I was like, Kilo Code? What is that? They said it's open source, and you guys know how I feel about open source. They said it's open source. You can use it in VS Code. That was a hesitation. I'm like, do I have to use VS Code? I don't even have VS Code installed on this computer, so I had to get it before the show. So what happened was I went to their website, kilocode.ai. I'll drop it in the chat for you guys, and I'll share the screen. Let's do Kilo Code. I'll drop that in the chat if anyone wants to check it out. But basically, it's the best AI coding agent for VS Code, so they claim and so they say. Kilo combines all features of Klein, never use Klein, Rue, never use Rue, and our additions, right? And they say it integrates directly into VS Code, and you will be able to use you can bring your own API keys, or you can use theirs, but they don't charge you. They charge you at cost for the API. You don't pay anything separately, right? You don't pay additional for using their API. For not using their API, but using the API through them. You don't pay additional to it, right? It's like what you use is what you pay for. So I gave some features about it. I never used any of Klein or Rue, so I don't know in per se. But they say it has autocomplete, it has all this stuff. I'm just, if you want to see it, just check it out. But I'm going to be setting this up. Install Kilo Code. Let's see. So we are going to do and you can also install it on, I guess maybe it doesn't replace. I don't know. I don't know anything about Cursor, but you can install it on VS Code. So I'm going to do install VS Code, and we're going to do open Visual Studio. And I'm going to move Visual Studio to the other screen if I can find it. All right. So let's go over to the screen. And let me see something. Why is the screen like this? Give me a second here. We'll leave it like that. All right, cool. So here is Visual Studio, and I'm going to say, so I just installed Visual Studio earlier today, right? I'm going to do install Kilo Code, AI agent, Klein, and Rue combined, trust, publisher, and install. And I'm going to say, instead of creating an account, right, which I guess I could, but I want to say, I want to use my own API keys, right? And it says you must provide, so API provider. So if I say I am going to use OpenAI, and then I have to enter in my API keys from OpenAI. Let me see if I do get OpenAI. All right, so it opens up in a browser. Let me log in. And I will say, put this over here so I can see. Log in with Google. Because I'm curious to see what is going to happen, if this is going to be helpful to me. I'm going to create a new API key with OpenAI, and I'm going to say this is for Kilo Code API key. Create secret, copy the secret, paste it into Kilo Code, and I want to use, I'll use GPT-4o mini for now. Do they not have GPT-4? All right, there goes GPT-4o mini. Supports images, supports prompting cache, max output, 16,000 tokens, input price, 15 cents per 1 million tokens. And that's why Tokens. That is why I am a token fiend. Because for 1 million tokens of input, it cost me 15 cents, and for 1 million tokens of output, it cost me 60 cents. So let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
All right, so let's go ahead and say let's go and send error and usage data to help us fix bugs. I will definitely do that because I am not one of those people who's like, oh, I'm not going to share any of this data. I don't really have much. I'm on YouTube for crying out loud, right? I don't have much data to protect. And if I don't mind sharing data because if it can help the betterment of the software, then sign me up 10 times over. Let's go. All right, so we have Kilo Code installed. That was pretty quick using VS Code, which is one of my least favorite IDEs to use, but it is what it is. Rod Brown, here's a question, Rod Brown. Do you use VS Code? It's a fair question. It is a fair question. Let me go ahead and save this API key. Let's go to... All right. Let me see. Kilo Code open AI. All right, cool. So now 5 ways Kilo Code helps you with code. You now have a personal AI coding assistant. Write code for you. Describe what you want to build. Kilo Code will write it from scratch, generate files, and run them for you. That's pretty cool. Understand your code base. Need clarity on how something works. Ask Kilo Code about any part of your files and get clear explanation. Get things working again. Stuck on an error, Kilo can help you find the issue, fix it, and get your code running. Plan your logic. Not sure where to start? Map out your logic and structure before writing a single line of code and more. Improve your prompt. Click the stars icon to make your prompt clearer and more complete. Kilo Code will rewrite it and get better results. Add files or folder context. Mention files in your folders in your prompt. Kilo will use them to better understand and respond to your request. Click the paperclip in the text area to use at or add context. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try something crazy out here. So I am going to... How are we going to do this? So I'm going to say... File. I am so bad at VS Code. Open folder. I want to go into a WebStorm project and I want to take... Which one do I want to take? I want to take... Let's take this one, right? So that is this is the homeschool app, right? But here's a problem that I have with, I would say Lovable, but it's not a Lovable problem. It is a software engineer problem, right? It's not even a software engineer problem. It is a new startup, terrible mentality problem where they do not believe in testing their applications. One of my bigger applications that I'm working on releasing I set a deadline for 3 weeks to be able to release this app and get it out there, get it working. I'm not working, but get it promoted and everything like that. It is, but one of the problems, like one of the things that I am taking very, very seriously due to the severity and gravity of this application is testing. A lot of startups, they do not believe in testing their application. They just want to put it out there and then they crash and burn. They have terrible code. So what I want is unit test written for this application. All right. So what we're gonna do, I want unit tests and I want integration test, UI test. All right. So this is not my Copilot, all right? So that's I think that's the GitHub Copilot. I want Kilo. So let's go here and let's say if I say open here, close the welcome down. All right, so there goes Kilo. And in Kilo, it says generate, refactor, or debug code with AI assistance. Check out our documentation to. So first thing I want to do, I want to create a new branch, right? I want to create a new branch. So I'm going to say get status, get checkout, and I'm going to name this branch. I'm going to name this branch test dash create unit tests. Dash B for branch. All right. What? Oh, I gotta put the dash B before. So we have our branch, get branch, right? And I'm going to say, what I'm going to say is, I'm going to go over here, click here for a cool idea, then tap to watch me do the magic. I'm going to go here and let me see, so I can choose architect, code, debug, orchestrator. I'm going to use architect for now, right? And I am going to say, please create some unit tests for this application. So the reason I'm doing it on a separate branch is because I don't want to interfere with what's there now. One of the things that I'm doing is like, although I'm testing the applications, even if I don't have like all the full testing in place, I am not going to be adding more features until we do have the test in place. So let's go ahead and send that bad boy off. It says to create a unit test for the application, I need to gather more context about what units refer to in this context. Units could mean different things such as components, modules, or specific functionalities within the application. Given the structure of the project, it seems like a React application with various components and pages. I will start by asking the user for clarification on what they mean by units and what specific functionalities or components they would like to create. This will help me create a more targeted, actionable plan. What do you mean by units? Are you referring to components, modules within the application? So I'm going to say, what are the typical unit tests written within a React application? I like the ask mode where I can just switch to ask mode and get some, and the thing is, this is using my own API credits, right? My own OpenAI API credits. So I'm not, as much as I love Devin, right? I'm not using all of my ACUs on Devin. All right, so it says, and it says API, oh my God. Answering this question right here, right? It cost me 0.001 cent. I have provided an overview of typical unit tests written within a React application, including component rendering, event handling, state management tests, conditional rendering, snapshot. See, they are trying to get me to use VS Code. I gotta find a way. I gotta ask them, like, hey, are you guys planning to making apps for JetBrains? Because if I can get this right here inside of JetBrains, it is a total. How does the little flip song goes? Game over what? Just drop the game over beat. All right, so let's see. So this request took me 0.0019 cents. So let's say if we say, let's start off with backend functionality, right? I love the fact that it gives me the exact cost for my request. That is a game changer. Because as I build these apps out, I was talking to somebody that I'm coaching, right? We're talking about the CI/CD pipeline that we want to have, and so what we're gonna have is have the unit tests run in the pipeline, have the playwright test run in the pipeline, so that this whole thing can be working, you know. All right, so it says the user is interested in creating modules for back-end functionality. To proceed effectively, I need to identify the specific back-end functionalities or features that should be implemented as modules. This could be things like user authentication, data management, API endpoints. I don't know. Like, let's see. Let's say user authentication module. You should just be doing all of them, but let's see. Let's see. I'm loving. So far, I'm absolutely loving Kilo. I'm surprised that I haven't seen it done anything yet, but what it's telling me, it looks promising, and I love the fact that I can see how much it's costing me right here in real time. All right, so to create a user authentication module for the backend, we will break down the task into clear actionable steps. Here's a proposed plan that includes user create a route. What? Is this to test it or to? Is this to create the unit test for the existing application, or to create a new feature? Let's ask it that. Let's see. I wonder if I can make this any bigger, the view any bigger. Is there a zoom in mode? Let me see. Oh, zoom in. Let's see if this is going to zoom in for me. Oh, nice. Let me zoom in one more time. There we go. Nice. Are you looking, so it says, are you looking to create unit tests for the existing authentication module or implement a new feature for the, I'm looking to create unit tests for existing authentication module. Make this bigger. All right, so to create unit tests for the existing authentication module, we will need to outline the key areas to test. Here's a proposed plan for the unit test. User registration, test successful for user registration, test registration with invalid data, test registration with already existing email, test successful user login with valid credentials, password management, session management test, error handling. Now I'll create a to-do list for the unit test based on this plan. The to-do list for the unit test of the authentication module has been successfully updated. Would you like Kilo to proceed with implementing the unit test? Yes. Implement the unit test for successful user registration. Uh-oh. What's happening here? I will now create, get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here. And I'm going to tell it to mock anything that, I'm going to tell it to mock everything. It's creating my test, y'all. We got code by the kilos.
Another one.
Yup. Another one, because we
the best.
Look at that, writing all that code. Look at that, writing all that beautiful, beautiful code. And we got to tell it to mock it as well. Let's see. It's doing this thing. I ain't mad at it. And if I look at my project structure, we have tests. We have stuff added. Oh my God, this is
Lunch break.
Rod Brown, are you seeing this? You thought I was joking when I. Is this the first day of the week? All right. Let me get myself in some more trouble. Let me get myself into some more trouble. And on, is it the first day of the week or the seventh day or the last day of the week? Whatever. And on the first day, Tech Coach Ralph said, let there be unit tests.
They ain't believe in us.
They ain't believe in us. They did not believe in us, but the unit test did. The unit test did, and with kilo code, I got code by the kilos. I'm telling you. We got unit tests up and popping. Let's go out there and get it. Let's go out there and get it. And it's done. I have successfully created a plan for the user authentication module for the backend, which includes components for user registration, login, password management, session management. And I'm going to ask a question. And wait a second. How much did this all cost me? I want to know. How much did it cost me? I can't tell. Can I tell? I'll look into that part later because I'm curious to know how much it cost me to do this. But I'm going to say, can you make sure that, well, unit test, when we get back from break, I'm going to run the unit test because setup database connection or any unnecessary setup, it should be mocked, right? It should be mocked. But this looks good so far. Interesting. A couple of things I want to do. I want to know how much it cost me, and I also want to know. I want to know. If it's mocked. I'll just ask. I'm just gonna ask, right? And then we'll check the answer when we come back. For the unit tests, are all the input/output for the tests mocked? Is the test using mocking? So the unit test can run in a contained environment without relying on actual database data. So I'm going to ask this question in ask mode, and then we are going to go to break. All right, we are at break. We got code by the kilos. I am impressed. I must say, I am impressed with Kilo Code. The fact that I could just drop in my API key for OpenAI, and all of this is happening. And then I can even switch it up. I can go say, let's use Claude, let's use Gemini, and maybe they even have a way that you can bring it all together and let the best. I don't know. But this is cool. I am highly, highly impressed by what I just saw. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna check in on Manus, and then I'm gonna tell you about why vibe coding in honor of my dear friends Junior and Rod Brown. I'm gonna say it like this: why vibe coding is really, really hard. Okay, it's tough. But I love it though. But I love it because I am just a straight up nerd.
You're such a nerd.
Okay, so here we go. We are going to, let me close that out. And let's go check Manus real quick. Let me go to, throw this up here. All right, so vibe coding is hard. Okay, maybe I shouldn't put the AF in the major fail. I feel like I let everybody down. I put vibe coding is hard AF in the banner, and we agreed that by saying AF, it stands for. Well, whatever. All right, let's go check Manus. All right, let's go check Manus, and then I'll have a little conversation with you guys. So, what did I ask Manus to do? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, cool. So let's go over to here, and I asked Manus for. I asked Manus for a. Let's see. I should just build this, and I wouldn't even know what to do with it. I don't have the time to do something with it, but I just want to build stuff. Right? I just want to build. I just want to build. I just want to go out there and win it all. Right? It says so. It says, great to hear you have a prototype. I'll research the best free and low-cost API platforms for populating your trading dashboard with accurate market data. Let me find comprehensive options for real-time quotes, historical data, and news feeds, and fundamental data. So it did its research, did its thing, and it came back with. Let me close these. So this is all the research. If you should look into it to see what it did. But top recommendations for your trading dashboard: primary market data, FinHub, which is free. 60 API calls per minute, most generous free tier. That's 60 API calls per minute. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. And from what my cousin was explaining to me about the swing trading is that you're not monitoring it like with that tightly, so might be good. 60 API calls per minute, real-time data included. WebSocket support for 50 symbols, comprehensive fundamental data and news, perfect for your swing trading workflow, financial news, market ox, free, 100 daily requests daily, 3 articles per request, advanced sentiments analysis, 5,000 plus news sources globally. Excellent for catalyst detection. Look, and this is why whatever I enter, I master, I dominate, because I use everything that I do. I apply my QA and my engineering expertise to it. So when I think about jiu-jitsu, building systems, building workflows, having if and then statements for when I'm live training, just build the systems that I build. Just by having a conversation, I know what to go look for. And to get started, it wouldn't be that complicated to build this out. I just wouldn't use it. That's the problem. I wouldn't use it. Fundamental data analysis, financial modeling prep, 250 API calls daily, complete financial statements, historical tier, free tier, 2-year historical data, paid tier, $29 a month for 5+ year history. I heard of Polygon.io. Institutional grade data quality, and then strategic implementation approach. So, they're even telling you how to implement. Start with FinHub at market ox, the plus FMP combination. Phase 2, scale up to Polygon, and then you do all that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That is absolutely awesome. It's freaking off. It is freaking awesome.
Freaking awesome.
Yes, indeed. All right. With that being said, let me go to full screen real quick. We are going to have a quick conversation about why vibe coding is really, really hard. Or as the banner says right here, vibe coding is hard AF. But I love it though. I love it. Aww. So let me throw up 5 minutes, right? What I've learned in the past almost 2 months now with using these platforms, Devin, I've made a bunch of videos recently about Devin. We're using Kilo code right now to open source application that integrates directly with VS Code. With Cursor, I'm gonna see if I really want it to be integratable. Is that a word? Integratable? To be integrated with the JetBrains products, right? So in my WebStorm, I can have it. In IntelliJ, I can have it. And what's the name of the other one? PyCharm, I can have it, and whatever else, right? Because that would be because using VS Code right now, it looks a lot different than before. It's cool. It's not my thing. I am a JetBrains person, right? But here's why it's hard, right? Here's why it's hard. Find me a vibe coder who does not have an engineering background. Ask him what a unit test is. Ask him what an API test is, or what an integration test is. Ask him what a UI, automated UI test, right? Ask him what an API is. Ask him what an API key is. Ask him what is an object. Ask him what's an object. Ask him what the console is. So what I've been doing in the past month and a half is was a total learning experience. I've learned so much, and it's made me so much more efficient that I'm even like, you know what? And here's the crazy thing. Lovable just came out with a business plan where one account, all of your whole company can get access to it, but it's not per user. It's per credit, right? The access is like it's dirt cheap. It is dirt cheap. It's so crazy, right? Because I was already talking to my boss, and I was like, oh, well, I think we should build this dashboard and we can use Lovable, and it'll be really, really helpful to the work that we do. At the time, the business account hadn't come out yet. 2 days later, there's a business account, and I'm like, do you know how more efficient that we can be by integrating with these tools? But because I know about API, like objects, JSON requests, network requests, troubleshooting, API calls, API keys for AI. Because I understand web development, I took everything that I have been learning in the past, I mean, my whole life, but in the past 4 or 5 years, it's all coming together now. And with the use of AI and these vibe coding platforms, it makes it so much easier for me to be able to do things a lot faster. And that's why, like, whenever I hear these people like, oh, they're replacing software engineers with AI, give Lovable to a product owner. Because if AI was to replace software engineers, all software engineers, that means that the product owners would have to be using these platforms to build things out. And so they accurately say Lovable, for instance, in this case, is a good tool for creating prototypes. Yes, it is. You saw me create this prototype right here, right? Now, a product owner, they can probably like start putting some stuff together. But when it comes to the technical stuff of like, all right, when it's not doing what you want it to do, and you started burning through credits, burning through tokens, burning through whatever, right? And you're trying to like, why won't this information show up correctly on the application? Why is it giving me like the wrong information, the wrong data? If you don't know how to go and look through the code,
back to work, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work.
If you don't know how to go and look through the code, look at the console, look at the object that's being returned, log, like put console logs yourself to be able to quickly find things and see, okay, how is this information is being brought in from the API? How, like, what on the UI is trying to pick it up to display, and why? Like, so I ended up going like back and forth in order to make sure that the way that the JSON object is being returned is the way that I am consuming it on the front end, right? Another stuff, right? Learning about PDF generation, how like finding API providers for PDF generation, sending emails, setting so many different things where it's like, so people just think like, oh, I'm just gonna go and type some code and say this is, I just want this, and then it's gonna give you it's magically gonna give you all this stuff. No. And that's why I say, and that's why on Wednesday, we're gonna be premiering how Lovable's platform in particular put me in God mode as I'm a QA engineer, like at my regular job, but with what I'm doing here, this is software engineering. I saw somebody on X the other day says, vibe coding is not software engineering. I'm like, I don't know what you've been doing, but I'm going through it all. I'm here. At the end of the day, is software engineering just writing code, or is it putting together the application? But here's another caveat, right? And here's why I disagree when people say, oh, let's say we need software engineers, maybe not as many software engineers at one company to drive building an application, right? Through these tools, AI tools and stuff like that. But here's the other side. Product ownership is hard AF as well. Product ownership, like thinking about the best, like UI UX is hard. So thinking about the best user experience, thinking about what's going to add value to the stakeholders. So when I'm working on these things, I'm like trying to think like, okay, is this the best functionality? Being in QA, I'm in a unique position where I see it from the user side, I see it from the product side, I see it from the development side, and I'm trying to put it all together, but it's still hard. It is very, very hard. So when we see people like, oh, either saying, oh, we're not going to need this position, that position, whatever, I think that's wrong. But then they're like, vibe, like, it's a vibe. Like, we're just writing this code, just hanging out. It's not like that. It is not like that. But that's also why I enjoy it, because it's a challenge. And I'm still getting to use all of like what I've learned over the years, my special set of skills that have accumulated over the past X amount of years. But I'm able to say, all right, Lovable's got this part, I got that part. We're working in harmony, working in tandem. That's my software. That's my junior AI software engineer, right? That's why I love it. Vibe coding is hard, but I absolutely love it. All right, we are going to do one last segment. We're going to do one last segment of work, and then we are going to wrap it up for today. All right. It's been, how long have we been on? How long have we've been on for an hour and 52 minutes. Are you guys having fun? Are you guys having fun? Here we go.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I'm having a great grand old time, I must say. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, on our last segment of work, we are going to, let me check my phone real quick. Let's see. We're good. Cool. On our last segment of work, we're going to check what happened. Let me put up our last 20 minutes. Let's go with here.
Let's go!
Let me get this off the screen as well. Boom. All right. Code by the KILOS. So let me make this bigger again. Let me see. All right. So what it told me is that, so I asked it, should I make this a little smaller? No, not what I wanted. I should make this take less space, or, oh, maybe I can close this up. All right, cool. So let's see. What in the world? Hold on. Generate, refactor, or debug with AI system. Check out our, all right, so let's see. Oh, where is the, okay, so create some unit tests, create a user authentication module plan for the backend. Oh my God. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see this? So this request cost me 1 cent. Did I just pay 9 cents to get unit tests written for me? Did I just pay 9 cents to get unit tests written? You don't know what this means. You don't know. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like, oh my god. All right, let me take a look at this. Right. So, I had asked. This reading this is kind of. Let me see if I can make it a little taller. Let's see here. I said, let's go all the way down. All right, so all unit tests for user authentication module has been successfully implemented and the to-do list has been updated accordingly. All items on the to-do list have been addressed. Where was my question about the... I'm looking for my question about the... This feels so clunky. Hold on. Let's see. Where's the zoom out? I just wish I could minimize this part over here. What is this? Feedback. Manage Kilo rules. Oh, that's cool. The rules is like, how do you want it to work? The only thing I don't see where my last prompt was. Let's see if they have it. Unit test for registration with an already existing email has been successfully added. Let's see. We got code. Where's the... Let's see. Okay, so there we go. I asked a question about, for unit test, are all the input output tests mocked? Is the test using mocking? So all right, so that's what we asked, and it said that the unit tests for the user authentication module are currently structured to make actual requests to the application using request app method. This indicates they are not using mocking to simulate the database interaction or other dependencies. Instead, they rely on actual application state, which means they could potentially fail if the database state is not expected. To ensure that tests run in a contained environment without relying on actual database, I recommend implementing mocking for the database interactions and any external services. This can be achieved using libraries like Jest Mocking. I will summarize the current state of the test. Yada yada. All right, cool. So I'm gonna say, let me see. I don't know what the difference between code and architect is. Let me try architect. Can we implement the mocking so we can get accurate states of the test and not flaky test based on the state of the database, right? Because I know this is possible. I did it before. So let's do that. This is, you have no idea. If this works, you will, it's going to be crazy. It is going to be absolute chaos if this actually works. Let's see. Mock the data. So right now it's doing mocking the database. Call to check existing users in the registration. That's step one. To-do list says mock database call to check for existing users in user registration test. Use mock data for user registration and user registration. Mock the database call to validate user credentials and user login. Use mock data for login attempts and user. Okay. So these are all the things that is going to be doing. Are you done already? Are you done already? Hold on. You can't be done already. And it cost me 3. This is game changer. This is a game changer.
Freaking awesome!
My goodness gracious! I cannot believe what I'm seeing here. All right, let's continue because I am stupefied at this point. Kilo code for the win from what I can see here. Okay, I'm still gonna have to try it out, but I cannot believe what I'm seeing here, right? I am in awe. I am in awe at the moment. All right, so to implement mocking, I will need to modify existing test. That's cool. It did all its thing. All right, so now let's see if we were to so I'm gonna ask. It's so cheap. It's the crazy part about it. It's so cheap. How can I run? Well, I think I can do it via. Let me do a little bit of human intervention, right? Let me put a little bit of effort in there. So there goes all my tests, right? That's for the users. Let me take a look at my package.json, and to test. I don't have a test in there, I don't believe. Let's say can we add the ability to run the tests to the package.json file? And but this is what I'm doing here though, right? It is essential for a successful application. But as you can see, it doesn't exist with what I did on Lovable. They don't do it for you. I did it with Devin, but it costs a lot of money. This is costing me pain. Does it work yet? I don't know. I don't know if it works, right? But it's created them at least, right? Can we add the ability to run the test from the test to the package.json so I can use the npm test command to run the tests, or whatever the correct command to launch the test, the correct command and script to launch the tests. Let's see what that gives us. To add the ability to npm test command, I need to update, and it's doing it right now in front of our eyes in real time. Do you see that? I just did it in real time, right in front of our eyes. By having the file open, it's doing it right in front of our face, right in your face. Oh my God, this is so crazy. It's so crazy. I cannot believe what I'm saying. So now if I go and I do npm test right here after this is done, it even puts itself remove comment for valid JSON. My goodness. What kind of sorcery have I stumbled across into here, right? I successfully added a test to the package .json allowing you to run the unit test using, but why is this still here? Comments are not permitted in JSON. Okay, I'm just gonna take that out myself because I don't know why you decided to add it there. And we are gonna do npm test. Let's see. Command not found. Do I need to install just on its own? npm install just. We actually did dev, but whatever. All right, so now if we do npm install or npm test. What? Do you guys see that? They failed, but they ran though. They failed, but they ran. What's going on over here? Give me a second. What is happening? Okay, there we go. Do you see that? All right, so let's see. Can't find the modules. Okay, so I need to add that. No word. That's no biggie at all. Let's go ahead and do. Oh crap! I lost my terminal. Where's my terminal? Terminal. Let's do npm install super test. And we run again. And now, what is our errors? What is your malfunction? Adjust the path to your app. Cannot find the module .app from super test. All right, let's look at here from test.error response test. So let me go and take a look, right? It's because even if it's failing, it's still starting me off, right? Let's go here. Is there an app dot it would be in source maybe? So do we have to let me try this, right? SRC. Okay. It would be capital app. Adjust the path of your app. Oh. Let's see if it's going to find this one. Let me see. Adjust error. Oh, see, this is one of the main reasons I don't like VS Code, because I have to manually save stuff. I hate manually saving. All right, so this got further. That's good. It says that we're getting there. Let me do. Let's target a specific let's target a specific one, right? Test / error. Let's just do that one, right? So this one is failing at, is giving us a lot more information. Let's see. Add Babel preset section. And I'm sure if somebody's like well versed in React and stuff like that, they can figure this out pretty quickly. But it's something that is very, very important to do. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna say this, right? When I try to run the unit test, there are some errors happening. Let's see. Here is an example of the error. Can you run the unit tests and get them to pass? Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if it can. Wave Nerd said, just looks like a box bowl of alphabet soup to a non-coder. That I agree, but that's why I was saying that, like, the vibe coding is not like, they make it sound it's like all roses and peachy and stuff like that, but it's actually to get ask Monica, to get a functional application, it is going to be like, because the worst thing that can happen, right, especially when using platforms like Lovable, you release your app and you go to make a change. I just want to change this one word here on the homepage. It wouldn't be that wouldn't kill it, right? But I just want to change just one little change, right? The way something is presented, and now the whole entire app is not working, and you're running ads, and you have a bunch of traffic going to the site, and it is not working, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? Monica in the building says, oh, and in Monica wants to say something earlier. It says in VS, I'll read what Monica said earlier. First is in VS Code, you set autosave under file menu. All right, see that shows you how much I use VS Code. Let me go check it out. File. Shut up. Can you guys see it? Hold on. You guys can't see it, but Monica for the save and for the win. I'm telling you, right there, auto save. Boom. Autosave on. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see what it said. I will transform. All right, so it says, it appears there is no Babel configuration file present in the project. To resolve the error regarding JSX transformations, I will create a new Babel configuration. Let's see. The configuration will look like this. This will enable transformation of JSX syntax and ensure that the unit test can run without error. I will proceed with creating a configuration file. All right, let's try to run it again. We'll do it strictly for this one. So when I'm getting these tests done, I do it like, if I keep running for everything, it's gonna be too annoying. All right, so where do we get to now? No wonder Monica popped up out of from lurking at when I started talking about testing. Let's see. I do have that though. What are you talking about? Let's see. Let me see. What if we're just doing PM test? We're still filling on the same spot. It says module not defined. Okay, so that's a different error. So we're going to do module not defined. And I am not I have never actually done any type of testing or unit testing inside of like React projects. So this is a new one for me. I am going to copy, but I'm still, you see, remember at the beginning of the show where I was showing how I would copy the code into Lovable? Well, I'm going to copy it right into, I'm going to copy this code right into copy. I'm going to copy that right into this context, into this chat window right here and say, now I'm getting an error that the module is not defined when in the test when it goes to do module.exports. Ah, shoot, I meant to paste it in there. This is the error, or maybe it fixed it. I don't know. Let's see. I meant to paste the error in. Sometimes that's one of those enter when you press enter by mistake and it just goes. All right, let's see what it said. I updated the configuration to include Babel plugin, which should now resolve modern. All right, so let's try that. I'm gonna do this one. Okay, it's still saying the error. I still see it. It's there.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
I do love this starting point though. This module not defined thing. Let's see if I go here. Convert to ES. Do we want to convert to ES? Let me see what happens if I do this. It is a different error. I still can't find the module, to be honest. I really want to get this to work though. Let me run it one more time. Let me clear this out. Oops. So we're going to copy that. All right. Still getting the, and this is how I got caught up on Lovable. Like, and this is the loop that you can go to, but I don't mind going through the loop of getting things to work and understanding them when I first get started, because that's just gonna make it a lot more powerful. And because this is so cheap, I don't mind. Like this is nothing, right? I'm still getting the error. Below is what I am getting from the terminal when the tests are attempted to be ran. Paste. The error indicates that the module object is defined in the content of Babel configuration file. This typically happens when Babel configuration is interpreted in an environment that doesn't support CommonJS. To resolve this, I will change the Babel configuration file to use ES module syntax instead of CommonJS, which means I will replace for export defaults. And that's done. We're going to run it again. And we we're going through a loop here. I'm gonna, because I know Devin is really good at this. Like when it fails, it tries again. So I'm gonna say, I am still getting an error. This is the error. Oh, you know what? I can try to change the model too. This is the error that I'm getting. Are you able to run the tests yourself to see the error and fix it yourself? Oh, it's doing it's doing it itself. It's doing it itself. Oh my god. That is so cool. I said just do it yourself. Like stop saying, oh, it might have worked, it might have worked, it might have worked. Just fix it yourself. Let's see. But that can be costly, right? But I do want to get the unit test to like start working, and then I can like clean it up myself. Let's see. Oh, we're getting further. So we don't have that issue anymore. We're getting further along. Now it's failing at importing certain things. This is crazy. I have updated the mock statements in the file to reflect the correct paths for the database and token modules. This should resolve cannot find modules. Can you try running the test? All right. So it's probably going to fail, but it's going to be failing for a different reason. Let's do just one of them though. He was even controlling the console. npm tests error. So this one is failing at import auth provider. I'm just going to copy this whole thing. It's getting further along, but now it's getting a weird jest error when trying to run the tests. And after that one is done, we're going to wrap it up for today. But I really, really wanted to explore this Kilo code, and I am so happy that I did. If this is able to work, oh my god, it's going to be a total game changer for me. Seven tests? It's still trying to install this Babel thing. That Babel thing must be super annoying. I'm gonna be playing with this for the rest of the day. I do have a Scrum night meeting in about 50 minutes, so I'm gonna be wrapping it up. But it's pretty crazy what this is able to do. Somehow it added an additional test. I don't know where that one came from, but or maybe it wasn't getting to the test. I don't know. Not sure. But it's doing stuff, I'll tell you that. I am impressed. I must say I am impressed by this. Let's see. And this shouldn't touch the code at all, right? This should only be going through the test files that it created. And I will learn how to get these tests to be in a better state, better condition, get better with the prompting. Maybe we have to switch over the model to a newer and stronger, more powerful model, but here's what it is. I'm going to let it do its thing. I am going to... There's more tests that are coming in, though, if we can see over here. I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna wrap it up for today. So there we go. Kilos by the code. It's doing stuff. I'm gonna be exploring this option significantly because if I can get my unit tests in there like swimwear, we are good to go. Let me check the chat, and then I'm going to get us up and out of here. So we got one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Monica D, in the building. Monica says, question, I use VS Code and using in agent mode, it does the same thing besides showing the cost. I'm confused about what Kilo is doing differently. So what... I'll disclaimer, I am not a VS Code user, but what Kilo is doing for me is it's open source and I'm able to pass in my whatever like OpenAI keys. And I can choose the model. And then I can say what provider I want to use. So they have these different providers, DeepSeek, OpenAI compatible. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What did I just do? All these different, they have XAI in there for Grok. I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. They have a bunch of that you can pass through in there. There's Gemini, CLI, Google Gemini. So yeah, that's basically what I did. I pass in my API key, I pass in my model, I can probably up the model. And that is where is it? I don't know what's going on. How do I close this? Discard changes. Why can I? Oh, I guess I could just do save. Where is the... Hold on. How do I get out of the settings? Discard unsaved changes or close the setting. I said discard changes. Discard. I don't know. If I go over here, no. How do I get back to it? Whatever. I'll figure that out. But that maybe VS Code does the same thing. I have no idea because I am not a avid VS Code user. Every once in a while I go into it. So I didn't even have it installed on this computer. So today was the first time. Like, I actually ended up installing it today just so I could try this out, right? Let's see. Monica says, this is why I prefer TypeScript. Dealing with JavaScript, no IntelliSense and pain to debug. Check and see if you have Babel installed in the package.json. Let's see. While I have Monica at my disposal to help, is Babel inside of the package.json? Let's see. Babel. I see there's a bunch of Babels in there. It's a lot of babbling inside. You see what I did there? Little bit of tech humor, I guess. There's a bunch of babbles in here, but I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. This is mainly just to try this out. If this works for me, that's going to be absolutely awesome. Let's see. Monica says, I prefer Claude when it comes to coding. I'm going to get me some Claude credits, and I'm going to put that in there. Still not sure what Kilo is doing different. That using VS Code in agent mode, I don't know. Does agent mode? Maybe it does. I have no idea because I don't use VS Code, so you might be right. Let's see, it's doing different. Yep, got that. It says you should try VS Code, install Playwright MCP, and using Claude. It does well for creating working UI tests. Okay, yeah, maybe that'll be next Sunday. Maybe that will be next Sunday. I have yet to play with it so far, but I can use any model that I want. And Junior says, with the I'm going to sound out Junior's emoji.
Bruh.
All that is said in one emoji, right? That whole sound was played out in the whole emoji, right? And my guy Wavenerd says, good show. Thank you, Wavenerd. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
All right. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as we did Code by the Kilos. Just trying things out. We are just trying things out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, tomorrow, I doubt, unless I can wake up really, really early and do a really, really early show, there's not going to be a morning show, right? Because I have an appointment at 8 a.m. that I have to leave early to get to. So that's going to be that. But we will be premiering some Candid Conversations at noon Eastern Time. I'm going to be talking about how to handle when someone steals your idea.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Right? Happened to a friend of mine. We were talking about it, and I said, Junior, good old Junior pretty much gave away my whole show tomorrow. So just don't go back and watch this. So you don't see what I'm going to be saying, but I'm just messing around. But we're going to be talking about that at noon tomorrow. So definitely want to join me. And then Tuesday, we're going to be going live with Tech Q&A, vibe working, all of that good stuff. So looking forward to seeing you there. Monica says, on the way out, interesting, always find something new. I love to see the technology that's being built. If you might have missed it earlier, but I said the way that I came across Kilo, I was responding to something on Reddit, and then there was a promo for it for Kilo. I was like, oh, let me try it out. I'm like, do they only have for VS Code? I guess I will dust off VS Code and try it out, But it is what it is. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
I try to live what they let go, away to dreams they'll never know. But a drowning soul can't save the tide, and now I see I must step aside.
I fought till my hands turned to stone, carrying battles that weren't my own. They swore they'd stand but turned away, left me to bleed in the fray.
I held the line as long as I could, fought for the spark they misunderstood. They whispered dreams they never choose, said they were in but lived to lose. I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but
but you clipped your wings and let them die. You crave the fall, not the fight to win. A war within that you let begin.
I can't fight for you no more. Knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out. Your silence echoes a deafening shout. I saw the fire dim in their eyes, promises buried under their lies. They wore the crown of fleeting belief, but ran from the throne when it brought grief. Oh,
I tried to carry your weight on my back, but your shadow was a heavy attack. You disappeared when the fire burned high, left me screaming at an empty sky.
I wanted the victory more than they, but you can't chase stars for those who stray. So I lay down the sword and walk away. The battle's lost, they chose decay. I can't fight for you no more. Knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out. Your silence echoes a deafening shout. Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reach my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.
Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reached my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.